Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Katawa Shoujo episode 26. Hisao? Hisao, are you? The soft, barely audible voice lingering in my ears slowly wakes me. I wish I could be woken like this more often. With a mumble, I slowly open my... Whoa! Yep, I'd like to be woken like that more often. That would be awesome. Let me go back and admire how cute Lilly is. Okay. Taken by surprise at the head hovering curiously mere millimeters from mine, I make our heads collide with a harsh thud. The impact of our foreheads causes both of us to fall backwards and yelp in pain. Lilly sounding more like a squeaky toy than a person. Ow, ow, ow. I slowly rub my forehead with one hand, supporting myself with the other. Lilly lies a few feet ahead doing just the same as me, her face obviously pained. Sorry, your face was kinda close and I acted on reflex. You okay? My head. It seems she's not actually okay. Come to think of it, I doubt that the impact alone is what's causing her head so much pain. Hangover? You drank a fair bit last night. She silently nods in confirmation as I lever myself up. I offer a hand to her and help her back onto her feet. Glancing behind her, I find that Hanako is still fast asleep. I also find that those are some damn nice legs. It's not fair. I only drank as much as you did. That's very different from what I remember. And anyway, girls have a lower tolerance than men. That doesn't help. Fine, I'll get you a glass of water. Just be careful not to trip over Hanako. I rub the sleep out of my eyes, or at least some of it, as I walk to the counter. Tending to someone with a hangover isn't the way I like to spend a morning. It only takes a few seconds for the glass to fill, the clear water reflecting the sliver of light that makes it through the thin curtains. It looks like Lily's taken a seat on the side of the bed. I walk over to her while taking care to step over the peacefully sleeping Hanako and place the glass into her outstretched hands. Thank you. No problem. I take a seat next to her, the soft bed having a surprising amount to give. She drinks slowly and methodically. A long silence passes, with only Hanako's soft breathing to be heard. With some measure of guilt, I look at Lily's face and attempt to read her expression. Her brow is furrowed, and she looks to be lost in thought. For a moment I hesitate, but eventually place a hand on her shoulder in an attempt to reassure her. I didn't expect her to flinch rather noticeably at that, though. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Lilly quickly shakes her head in a manner somewhat more violent than usual for her. She takes a long breath to steady herself before letting her head sink. I must look terrible right now. I move to protest, but quickly realize that it would be futile to do so. That said, I want her to open up more. If you want to talk about anything, I'm here. Lilly gives a self-deprecating snort, as if to mock her own emotions. There's just a lot happening right now. I'm sorry for being so strange recently, especially back when we were in town. Even now, I'm a bit confused about everything. Believe me, I know how that feels. She smiles wistfully, resting a cheek on the backs of her fingers. What? We're a couple of broken young fools, aren't we? Come on, don't say that. Come graduation, we'll be back out into the real world. The real world? Sometimes I surprise myself with the way I think about things. I guess that strange, divorced feeling of Yamaku and the surrounding town compared to the outside world still hasn't become natural. Maybe it never will. It's strange. In hindsight, being isolated from society like this doesn't feel as bad as it probably should. A wry grin on her face, Lilly seems to share the same sense of amusement at the idea. Eventually, though, her smile drops. I'll be going to Scotland for a week or two soon. Is that why we had to reschedule Hanako's birthday party? She gives an affirmative nod. You'll be able to see your family again at least. You're not looking forward to it? I haven't met my family in 6 years. I don't even know how to act around them anymore. Wait, what? My mouth hangs open as I try to process what she said. If she's 18, That means she'd only have been 12 when they left. I may have seen very little of my parents, what with both of them working long hours, but that's... I feel utterly useless as I struggle to find some way to respond. That's... But why?
Why did they leave? Or why are they inviting Kira and I back?
Both, I suppose.
My father's business has its headquarters in Scotland, and an executive position became available for him there. In the end, he had to move permanently. My mother followed him, but Akira and I stayed in Japan for the sake of both Akira's job within the Japanese branch of my father's company and my education. As for the later, one of my aunts is gravely sick.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. It feels strange, really. We're being summoned there for her, yet we've barely met before. I can't even remember the sound of her voice.
Equally strange is the total lack of antipathy she feels towards her family for doing such a thing. I can't help but feeling slightly humbled. That said, her wistful exterior is just hiding her emotions. Seeing her like this is depressing. Knowing what to do, I lift myself off the bed. Lilly notices the bed's movements, her head perking up and her hand reaching sideways to feel where I was.
Hisao?
I walk over to my bag, still leaning against the wall, unbuckling the front flap and retrieving the opaque bag from within. I take the small plain box in my hands. Hold out your hands, Lilly. She looks surprised for a moment, but eventually acquiesces. I'm amused by her look of curiosity when I place the music box into her palms, her typically delicate way of handling it making it seem as fragile enough to break if breathed on. She wordlessly brings it to the front of her face, her slender fingers feeling out its contours and patterning. Eventually, her fingers find the recessed line between the lid and body of the box, and her thumb effortlessly pops open the lid. I take a seat on the bed next to her, watching her face silently and intently. She sits completely motionless as she listens to the diminutive tiny melody, her mouth just slightly open. It takes a long while before she closes the lid with a small snap, bringing the curtain down on the miniature performance playing in her hands. The smile on her face, gentle and wistful, shows that I made the right decision. Think of it as a going-away present for your trip to Scotland.
I will.
A restless shuffling can be heard from the floor in front of us, the sound having woken Hanako. She climbs out of the blankets I put over her, looking befuddled and wiping the sleep from her eyes. I see you're finally up.
What?
Hanako looks around the room with her eyes only half open, her mind far from being as awake as her body. Her dazed state makes me and Lilly chuckle. As Lilly gets off the bed and tends to Hanako, I take one last look around the room. God damn it! Lilly really is an Amazon. God! Hanako, in comparison, you look like a midget. I guess I'd better get going then. There will be questions if I'm seen leaving the girls' dormitories in the morning.
Goodbye, Hisao. Oh, goodbye.
I stand and walk to the door, picking up my somewhat lighter bag along the way. After I leave the room and enter the hallway, though, I hear Lily's footsteps behind me. What's wrong? Without a word, she strides up to me. I freeze as I feel her hand slide onto my cheek, seemingly every nerve taking in the feeling of her finger and her palm on it. Immediately after, her face slowly moves next to mine, a light, momentary touch of her lips brushing against my other cheek. Yes! For a moment, everything seems to stand still. I absent-mindedly bring my fingers to my cheek, as if to try and recapture that fleeting feeling. Lilly.
That's my thank you, Hisao.
Thank you?
For your present. Have a nice day at school.
And with that, she disappears behind her door and gently closes it, the muffled voices of she and Hanako audible through it as much as they were yesterday night. I think I'd be hard-pressed not to have a nice day after that. I walk away with a certain spring in my step. I think there were some people around that glanced at me emerging from the girls' dormitory building, but I find it difficult to care.
Dum 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 dum. Hee-chan!
Go away.
Hee-chan!
Leave me alone.
Come on, Hee-chan.
Let me sleep. After 2 nights of not being able to sleep at all, the last thing I want is to be woken when I finally manage to. It may be the last period of class, with a textbook as my pillow, but I'll take whatever sleep I can get at this point.
See, Hee-chan, even Shi-chan wants you to get up.
I don't care what Shizune wants. Leave me alone.
Jeez, Hee-chan, I'll just have to wake.
Wait, Misha's going to...
You...
This is bad. I'm up. You don't have to... I can feel my face flowering into a scarlet red blush. The students still in class are sitting bolt upright and staring at the shouting fool who was sleeping just moments before. Damn it. I let my head smack back down on the table with a noticeable thud. Misha's trademark uncontrolled laughter reverberates through the classroom. As I turn my mournful eyes to the bespectacled Shizune beside her, she carefully adjusts her glasses, desperately trying to maintain a look of serious disapproval. Narrowing my eyes, I can see the badly hidden grin spreading across her face. Et tu, Shizune? Shizune looks away quickly as she crosses her arms tightly, barely on the edge of her control. Misha's laughter doubles in volume as she glances at Shizune. All I can do is drag my hand down my face in resignation. You too.
Who was the one who slept in class, Hee-chan?
Yeah, it was me.
Poor Shi-chan was having a fit trying to wake you up, weren't you?
I move my eyes back to the standoffish Shizune, who with a single huff of confirmation returns to looking away with her arms crossed. Why was Shizune trying to wake me up?
Shi-chan wanted to give you handouts the substitute teacher gave out while Hee-chan was sleeping.
Handouts? I suddenly find 2 sheets of paper thrust down in front of my face. God damn it. Well, it's better than some things that could be thrust in my face. Following the hand holding them, I see the still pouting figure looking down at me with a distinct scowl. I guess I really am in the wrong here. Sorry about that. No dice. Her irritated face still holds. I clasp my hands together and flick my head downwards in apology. Very, very sorry. She huffs and simply drops the papers on the desk. Damn. I look up over my hands to see Shizune and Misha signing frantically to each other, a look of frustration on Shizune's face. It looks to be less of a dialogue and more of a tirade, punctuated with sidelong glances to me. To say it's unsettling is an understatement. The two suddenly stop signing and look at me in union, both having exactly the same look of disapproval. In one fluid motion, Misha's hand suddenly extends high above me and comes rocketing down. Before I can even hope to react, my head is sent bouncing up and down like a jack-in-the-box. I quickly bring my hands up to my head, more out of reflex than actual pain. Ow! What the fuck was that for? I open my eyes to see the two grinning at each other while exchanging an enthusiastic thumbs up. God, I'm doing terrible.
Shi-chan says she'll forgive you now, Hee-chan.
Could you forgive me with a little less force next time?
Wah-ha-ha!
I look at the two with a blank face. Misha and Shizune 1, Hisao 0.
Oh, Shi-chan says you should check your student mail more often.
She produces a bright yellow envelope and hands it over with an exuberant grin. Strange. Who could have written me a letter? That was not the time, and most definitely not the place to find out, though. Giving up on the nap so cruelly stolen from me, I rub my forehead and slowly get up, putting sheets and envelope in my bag before swinging it over my shoulder. I take a step back and move to depart with a small bow, while Misha clutches her sides laughing and Shizune nods back in a curt farewell. I join the flow of students exiting the open door and turn the corner into the hallway, only to end up face to face with Anako. Whoa, hey Anako.
Good afternoon, Hisao.
Silence falls between us as busily chatting students pass us by. She's fidgeting constantly, her eyes drawn to her rather unremarkable footwear. Well, I'm gonna end the part there. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.